Hello, it's Peter Wright and Kathleen Beauvais in Ontario, Canada. And I have to tell you, for our international guests, we are enjoying one of the first snowfalls of the year. It's not heavy yet, but we've had snow. It's that time of year. So, this is the show where we introduce you to interesting people and ideas to give you opportunities to improve your life and your business. My first job, of course, is to introduce co host Kathleen Beauvais from down the road from me in Waterloo, Ontario. Hi, Kathleen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Peter. Thank you. And thank you all so very much for tuning into our show. We so appreciate you and we love reading your comments. So please keep those coming. And if anyone is interested in being a guest on our show, all you have to do is visit our website at theyakkingshow.com, click on the contacts tab, and there's an application form. It's very short. All you have to do is complete it. And as Peter mentioned, we do have another special guest with us today. His name is Robert Wilson. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm very excellent, and it's my honor and privilege to be here with you people.
That's great. So Robert, you are the founder of Cowboy Wisdom. This is a company that provides coaching, but you're also a motivational speaker and facilitator, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. But first, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you into coaching and facilitating?
Well, actually, what really happened was I was working in Portland, Oregon in 1997. I was a union electrician for 32 years. But my life, you hit that time in life where just like you hit the wall and there's nothing. Well, then I got into a home-based business that pushed personal growth. And I really, really adapted to the personal growth. And then I started reading all the books and doing everything the book said. And I wrote a book in 2001 called Wired for Change by a Journeyman. But yet, my inner world was doing well, but my external world was still the same. In 2009, I was working in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I discovered the word expand. Expand over change. And I took expand, energize, enterprise, and experience, and I started using them words instead of change, heal, create, and transformation. Because transformation, like electrician, transformation is a lot of work and it takes a lot to do nothing. So anyway, I took them words out of my life and started using just the word expand over the word change. Takes the thinking memory mind out of doing things, and you start having an image and a freedom within you. And that's when my life really started to expand. And then about 2011, I unpunctuated my writings and started moving forward. And then I started grasping everything I learned in somebody else's books is what somebody else wants me to know and do. So I started instead of writing journals, I just started writing books. And that way I expanded myself through life. And then I went to hypnotherapy school. Well, I started in 2006, but I went to hypnotherapy school the last year and a half. And I really started understanding there's a lot of words and vocabulary we use that keeps us tied to yesterday. So liberation over heal and appreciation over forgiveness. It takes the thinking out and gives you the value of yourself.
Interesting. So just to clarify something, because we just spoke about this before we started recording this session, is that you mentioned that you write books, but there's no punctuation at all in them. So the purpose is for the reader to interpret their own message. Is that essentially what it is?
You got to discover yourself. And the first time I give this to a person, this is kind of funny. She says, "There's no punctuation. When am I going to breathe?" I says, "I have to tell you when to breathe. You're kind of in trouble." But no, but what punctuation is, and there's no not words in there. I took all the not words out of my life. And because when you read, like, don't forget the keys, well, you're going to forget the keys because the subconscious never hears a not word. And that way you never go backwards. But they're unpunctuated and they're wrote in rhymes, and they're wrote to keep you moving forward. The words in there are like trailblazer, trendsetter, hellraiser, troublemaker, gives you some excitement. And that's something I really want to express to people. When you're writing to expand your life, write with excitement. Be a little ornery, be a little bit of an outlaw to rise you out of your current situation. If you're trying to get out of the same situation with the same words, you're going to stay the same. There's no excitement to the subconscious, and there's no fresh or now in there. And see, that's something else. I don't use any rewords, and I never use any rewords. And there's another one, because I always use now I begin, now I won with fun. I use now instead of re. And it's now circuited instead of rewire. It's now wired, now circuited. And I got my special little word called nowquility. That's just present moment peace within me.
Nowquility. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, wow. That is interesting. Something I wanted to ask you, that having had a quick look at your website, you talk a lot about wisdom. And a lot of people confuse wisdom with intelligence. And I know that they're totally different. So would you like to explain the difference to our audience?
Intelligence you get from a book. Wisdom you get from the experiences. It's called getting your hands dirty, because it's the physical experiences that give us the wisdom. You know, you can sit there and do all the knowledge you want, but until you engage with your hands and have to open up to the challenges of life. And see, we all were in intelligence, we shy away from the adversity and controversy of life. But that's where the secret lies. Adversity, controversy, chaos, and challenges, that is your invitation to your outcomes. Mm-hmm. Because you got to go through all the chaos and the challenges to understand the trial and dare of life. Because life is a trial and dare. Mm-hmm. It's nothing more. And all the challenges you face are to feed your everything you think and know. Because this is something that I've really expanded into. You're going to think and know your way to yesterday. Your imagination, innovation, inspiration, and your talents are going to take you to the promised land. And it's called the liminal landscape. It's getting above the threshold you've always lived. Even though we think we know everything, but we understand so little.
Right. And so you mentioned you mentioned 5 principles to live a life of lavish abundance. This is something that is also on your website. Can you touch on each of these?
Though there's many of them, but the one I really expand of most is you got to listen for the clarity of your own dreams. Your dreams are your roadmap to where you want to go. They're not necessarily out of the deal. All they are is out of your comfort zone. And a dream is showing you it can show you your blocks, and it can show you the pathway. And see, that's something else. In my 5 principles, I took right, wrong, solutions, and answers out of my life. I'm always strolling on the pathway of enlightenment because I listen. And that's the key to life. It took me 67 years to learn this, but you're going to listen your way to the penthouse, talk your way to the outhouse. And that is a principle I live by now. But it's really sitting there, understanding your talents are never in everything in anybody else's book. They're never in the school system. They're never anything. Your unique talents are within you. And everything you hear or listen to in the real world, in the physical, listen for the clarity to comprehend the wisdom to expand yourself. That is the one that really did. Because when you listen for the clarity, you're going to open your understanding, insight, wisdom, and the pathway to stroll on your trail to triumph. And something I did a expansion. I call my webinars and seminars expansion arts because I never want a controlling word in my life. I want to unleash, unlock, expansion. And it's your inspiration colors the scenarios of your accomplished outcomes. And that's another principle. Scenarios over possibilities. Because I can smell, paint, color, do anything I want with the scenario. The difference between a scenario and a possibility, if I can get this in there, that's a possibility. This is a scenario.
Okay.
You can see the outcome.
Right.
And it's really witnessing your accomplished outcomes is where it is. As soon as you set an intention, goal, whatever word you want to use, the mischievous universe is going to be what they call life is going to get in the way of life. They're going to put everything they can think of to make you quit because and think you're a failure because they're really showing you a way to feed your everything you learned in school, everything you think you know, and the corporate training of the world. Because imagination and everything is in the liminal landscape going into the superliminal scenarios of your life. You got to be able to image that. And that's the difference between the possibility. That's one of them. And really, the main one for me, the main principle I really believe more than anything, and this is one I expanded through myself, stop thinking the outside world did anything to you. People have never done anything. They may have done it, you involved in it, but the outside world has done zero. The outside world is actually faultless, innocent, blameless, shameless, and featureless. Because it's your thinking, memory, mind, your opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs, your childhood. That's what's causing all the trouble in the external world. It's all inside you. And when I admitted this, I wanted to run away from home. I had nobody to blame. I had to do it all myself. But when you get out, blame has actually got two meanings. It's blame is being lousy at managing everything, expanding into boldly living, awesome, majestic expansion.
Good one.
Yes.
Good one.
With words, you can take every negative word in the world to make it an inspiration. And
wow, very, very good. Robert, I've got to tell you, with Kathleen and myself, you're certainly preaching to the converted here. So we're really enjoying what you're saying. Kathleen is better behaved than I am, but I have a reputation as well for being a bit of a maverick. And I find once one gets to this age, one can get away with it a little more than when one is young. But anyway, so I'm enjoying very much what you're talking about. So here's one for you. Many of the successful people we interview, and I think I include you in this, have gone through some period of adversity in their life. And I've been through my fair share. And many of them attribute their current success or their latest success to having survived and thrived on that adversity. Would you go along with that statement?
100%. But the key to adversity is the first question. There's a question and a statement that I've learned, I've expanded into you. When adversity hits, the first words out of your mouth is, I don't know. Then the next question is, where's the wisdom in this situation? And then, why is this event, experience, or encounter occurring for me to expand me into my desired outcomes? Life, I got a new book coming out. My life occurs for me. Yesterday happened, today occurs. That's open conscious clarity, unleashing rebellious, spontaneous savvy to listen for the clarity to expand my life.
Okay, right. Thank you.
So going back to your website, you mentioned something that has always piqued my interest, and that is learning while you sleep. So you mentioned sleep learning and how it expanded your personal growth. Can you explain how someone can learn while they're asleep? And is it really that effective? I need to know this.
Yes. I've done it since 1997. And what sleep learning is you put on, like, there's a lot of audios now that play 11, 12 hours. And I got me a wraparound earpiece I put in, and I play meditations all night.
Okay.
And it's, you turn them down low. The thing about that is that when you're sleeping, the gatekeeper is relaxed between the unconscious and the conscious. and it allows that to go in. And you start expanding out of it. And also something that goes along with that is that when you're sleeping, you actually can hear, you can listen to the clarity of the wisdom of that meditation. For me, it's done a lot because I come from, and I'll just share this. I always had a quick temper until about 2 years ago when I realized I had my dad and mom's temper. I reacted to life just the way they did. From the womb to 5 years old, however your childhood is, that's the way you are until you admit it to get rid of it.
Mhm.
And I got a little saying, it's called ascend, admit, and appreciate. Get your ass end out of the past, never be hitting the ass again by the past. So now I want to admit this happened in my life. You can't, you can try to change it and do everything. No, just admit all the gunk, get rid of the funky gunk, and open up to appreciate. You had the courage, the confidence, and the valor to expand through that situation. And that's a simple little saying. I expand out of everything I don't want, or I expand out of this to expand of this. Mm-hmm. And see the word expand, the thinking memory mind can never get involved, and the unconscious is relaxed. That's the main thing, because 95% of our life is unconscious.
So getting back to the sleep learning though, so you have a tape running all night long that you're listening to, and it's all about meditation, or is it like listening to podcasts and listening to what people are saying? Okay, so it's
some of it is. Sometimes I put on a CD or an audio, but most of the time it's this, and they're 11 hours long. And I got a small iPad that I have a wireless headphone in, and it just sets over my ears, and I just turn that on, and it don't go in the ears, it sets out here, and I just play that all night, and I put it down low, and then I just go to sleep with it, and as long as it plays, it plays. When it stops, it stops. But it's really starting to instigate a fresh way of life in there. And for me, it's relaxing because it's soft music, and like you can listen to heart brain coherence, or you can listen to abundance, or you can just listen to relax. And sometimes I listen to self-hypnosis CDs. I play a variety, and then I've got an audio of my own called, it's in this book, My Wisdom Breeze. Sometimes I play that. That guy gets a little irritating. I know him. No, he doesn't. But I mean, because my stuff has no not words in it. And it is, and My Wisdom Breeze got an audio, but the audio is a little bit fast. And I did that on purpose. So you can't ever, it just keeps you going forward and onward. And you never go back into there. Because I've read some books, and the sleep learning, what that does is you get to relax at night, and you get to expand your life while you're doing it. And to me, it's just so simple.
How long did it take you before you realized that this was really beneficial to you?
About a month.
Really?
Yeah, you start feeling the difference.
Okay.
When you wake up, you're not in the complainers mode. You're more in a inspiration mode. And then when you hit the real world, that's when you get around all the complainers. But no, the sleep learning really allows you to relax and move forward in your own life. You ain't caught up and it really, to me, it just enhances everything.
Wonderful. I'm
Excellent.
trying it tonight.
Yeah.
Very good.
And it just, you don't even have, I got that headphone. If I could had one near, I'd show you, but they're really neat. They're just I can use them on my cell phones, and they go around, and they set here, and you can hear them going in.
Oh,
I got a set right over here.
I'm definitely going to try this, Peter. I don't know
For sure.
And everybody's got their own way, but this is the headset.
Oh, very small. It's like an airplane one, yeah.
See, and it sits on your ears just like this.
Okay.
And I like these better than earbuds because they don't fall off and they don't fall out.
Right.
And they don't pinch, and they're not in the ear. They're right in front of the ear. See?
Yeah, very good.
Oh,
Oh, those are good. Excellent.
And
So-
these all got 10-hour batteries in them.
Oh, that's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, very good. And where can people get them? Are they on Amazon?
Well, yeah, they're on Amazon. These are called Power Shocks or
Power
Pro
Shocks.
Shocks. Yeah, and I will use them on my cell phone because I just like them better than the ones that go in the ear.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, I wear these because I have hearing aids. Otherwise, I can't hear. So I can't have anything that goes in my ear. I've got a quick question for you. I'm looking at your domain name behind you, and where did the My Cowboy Wisdom name come from?
My Cowboy Wisdom, everybody has Cowboy Wisdom, so I had to put another word, so I just put My Cowboy Wisdom. I actually grew up on a cattle ranch in South Dakota. Cattle farm operation in South Dakota with my uncle. And I actually did ride the rodeos and did everything with the horses, and that's why my body's sore today. Everybody says their body's sore. Mine is from too much youth.
I'll share that one with you too. Yeah.
But I wouldn't trade anything.
No. But leading on from that, I read on your website, and you've just said you started working with cattle. I think you said pigs, hogs, and crops in South Dakota. So do you think that working close to nature with large animals and crops gives a person a good foundation for life?
Yes. Now this is kind of irritating, but the world is too cityfied, not enough countryfied.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
And the thing I enjoyed most about the cattle and the hogs, everybody thinks everybody looks the same, but we had 750 head of cows and 1,200 head of hogs every year. Wow. But the cattle were unique. We'd start describing a cow. We had all Hereford cows, white-faced cattle. But we'd say, well, it's that one that's got the line on her back. We'd describe the cow, and we'd go out there and we could pick her out 750 head. And it just kind of opened you up. And then there's nothing more entertaining than watching about 20-pound pigs play. There's just nothing more fun than that.
Yeah.
And what that does, though, it keeps you grounded. And see, farming keeps you grounded. And that's one thing I really appreciate in my life was the farming. Because it's just like life. You plant the crop, you watch it grow, you harvest. And that's just like life. And then in the winter, it freezes off. And that's just like life. And then when I become an electrician, electricity is a lot like life. If it's flowing, it's good. There's a short circuit, it's a blow up.
That's right. Absolutely.
Very good.
Yes.
I had a similar upbringing on a dairy farm, and then had horses all my life until a couple of years ago. And one of the big lessons I found was that when you're a 80 or 90 or say 120, 180 pound human trying to move 1,000-pound horse, you ain't going to do it by force, right? You've got to be a little bit smarter than that. So there are so many lessons to be learned from working with animals and nature. Thank you for that one.
Yes.
While I've got you though, talking about your book, tell our audience a little bit more about your book and where they can get it.
They can get it off my website, but they can also go to mywisdombreeze.com and get the book. And the audio is on Audible.
Okay.
And the one thing about the books, and the thing I like most about this book, if you're having a bad day and things aren't going right, you can open it up to any page and expand right out of it. You read 3 pages and you'll expand out of it, because it's just written. It's kind of like an imagination, but it's NLP hypnotic kind of form, and it just keeps you moving forward, and it goes straight to the subconscious because there's no not words in it. It's not telling you what to do. It's showing you what to do. And that's something I really want to express to people. Listen to be showed to your promised ground. Don't listen to be told what to do. And this is my personal thing. And it is, the world is too stuck in being told what to do telling people what to do. And when you hear somebody say, I want you to, run, because they want you to buy something.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right. You're right there.
So,
Yeah.
so again, this book doesn't have any punctuation. Is that right?
No, none.
So can you tell us
If
about
I
your...
could show it to you, I would. I don't know
Sure.
if I can get it up
Mm.
there.
I don't think we can.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it's too small a print, but no, it's all just written 3 lines and a capital letter, 3 lines. It's just like life. Life isn't punctuated. Life is unrehearsed, unedited, and politically incorrect if you're
That's right.
expanding through it.
Absolutely.
And I like the
right.
politically incorrect.
Oh, so do we. So do we.
So tell us about your services, Robert.
I call it hypnoacuity instead of hypnotherapy. I was in class and this lady says, I'm just here because I like hypnotherapy. And I says, well, that's really going to take you a long way. So I changed the name from hypnotherapy to hypnoacuity. Hypnoacuity is keenness of vision, listening, and inspiration. And what that does is it never lets you go into the memory mind. And it's not about expanding out of the past from there. It's about expanding out of the past in front of you. Because you expand out of your past here. We've lived it. The subconscious mind has lived a continuous now. It don't know. Our thinking mind thinks it's back there, but the subconscious. And so what it does is it expands you out of there. And it's really, I call it, it's a gift of liberation, emancipating expressions, sovereign expansion, opens up your autonomic love. Just say that to yourself. I feel my autonomic love, and see what you feel. And to me, but it's really about letting go of trying to fix yesterday to energize today. It's I expand out of yesterday, energize today, enterprise my dreams to experience my son of the fun splendor. And see, if you're talking inspiration and start talking in rhymes, you can the fresh inner dialogue is better.
Right.
And you get it better, and you really get excited about yourself. And you wake up in the morning and say, I'm amazing and I'm enough. First words out of your mouth. I'm amazing and I'm enough. And that's starts your
And so
day.
many people don't feel that way, right? But it's again self-talk. If you just reprogram your mind to have positive thoughts and positive self-talk, that will go a long way, right?
It's inspiration. Inspiration dissolves desperation, energizes aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
True.
very good. So, Robert, I've got one for you. I asked this question of all our successful guests, and you're certainly in that category. So, in your mind, in your experience, is there one thing, a habit or characteristic or mindset that sets successful people? When I say successful, I mean well balanced. I don't just mean people who've made a lot of money, because some of the most happiest people I've come across haven't got a lot of money. Is there one thing that sets those people apart from the people who merely remain average and unfulfilled?
Yes. They trusted their abilities.
Mm.
They,
Interesting. Yes.
And they didn't step back in the trauma and drama of life. They stepped forward. When the controversy, adversity, I've stepped back, but they stepped forward. They trusted their ability. And that's the thing about wealthy people. They're wealthy because they trusted their ability.
Sure.
And the biggest thing they didn't listen to, society.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at successful people, they were never college educated.
Yep.
And see, education is great, but it's just like the paved road you drive on. Your imagination is the airplane.
That's right.
Yep.
And I'll share this with them. Take the words think, know, learn, and hear out of your life. Think is inspiration. Know is understand. Learn is comprehend. And hear, you use listen.
Mm-hmm.
Never think, hear, know, and listen at the same time. You can't listen, learn, think, and know at the same time.
Right.
Wow, very good.
Well, we're running low on time here, but how do people contact you? I know that for the video, we have your domain right behind you, but for those just listening, Robert, can you tell us how we can get a hold of you?
Yeah, it's at robert@mycowboywisdom.com, and my cell phone is 702-755-1000. 9410. And I put some free downloads in the chat that people are just free to go get. But on there, there's a letting go CD. Don't listen to that while you're driving because you will go to sleep. And then there's a bucket list with 111 things for you to do. And the reason for 111, that means 3, that means love. And there's affirmation. It's 24 pages, but it's a bucket list, and it has things for you wherever you want to do. Wonderful. Or whatever you want to experience.
And you work with people from all over the world.
Yes, Zoom makes that happen.
Absolutely, agree with that. Okay, well.
Does indeed. Well, thank you, Robert. That was really interesting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us today. And we'll definitely keep in touch with you, Robert. And to all of you out there, thank you for tuning in once again. And until next time, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.